Hello, welcome to my podcast. My name is Piper Merrill. Welcome to Behavioral Brilliance. I am so excited that you're here and so glad that you're listening in. Hopefully you've been able to view. I probably have about 9 or 10 podcasts out there, and I hope you get to watch them. I'm a pediatric nurse practitioner. I have 20 years experience as a pediatric nurse practitioner and 30 years experience in healthcare for pediatrics. My passion is mental and emotional health for kids, and my podcasts are all educational, hoping to empower parents to teach mental and emotional health to their children. Let's start young. So I think we all know a lot of our adult life, our conflicts and our struggles as adults many times come from our childhood, how we grew up, the mindsets that we grew up in, how our parents thought, how they reacted in life. You know, it is passed down, right? So it's so important as parents to go back and look at our childhoods. What did we like about it? What didn't we like about it? Many times, so you're in that, you're evaluating, not judging. I always say my parents did the best they could with what they had. They didn't know all the information that we have now. We are blessed to have so much information available for us on mental and emotional health. I think for generations, we've not talked about our emotions, not talked about our thinking and our behavior and how that affects relationships. So my goal in doing the podcast is always trying to bring different aspects of mental and emotional health that will help you get healthy yourself, so we can then teach our kids mental and emotional health life skills. So one thing I wanted to talk about today are mindsets. I really had not given much thought to this until I came across this book that I've loved, and I know it's been out for a while, but it is Mindset by Carol Drake, and it's the new psychology of success. Yes, I study my books. I don't just read them, I do study them. It's great information, and I don't think just reading something once really teaches us it. I think you study it and then applying information. I've said that on my last podcast, that not only reading material or listening to podcasts is going to change us. It's applying the information to our daily life. It really is about daily habits. Daily habits. What am I doing today to reach the goals that I have for tomorrow? It's in our daily habits. So I want to talk about mindset. What is mindset? So I'm going to read a lot of it to you just so that I get her terminology right, because I think it was very helpful for me. And so a mindset is a set of beliefs that shape how you make sense of the world and of yourself. Your beliefs influence how you think, how you feel, and therefore how you behave in any situation. Beliefs are powerful. Even if what we believe is not accurate, we will act on it. So Dr. Drake discovered the mindset you choose can determine whether you become the person you want to be or whether you accomplish the things you value. We can have a mindset about our intelligence, what we believe about our intelligence, what we believe about our personality qualities. Who are we? And much of that is shaped through growing up, the environment we grow up in. What have people spoken over us? What have people said to us? Words are powerful. So these sets of beliefs have come about a lot of times through culture and through, like I said, who taught you how to think. It's fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. Our goal will be to have our children learn what a growth mindset is, willing to learn, that we're not afraid of failure. We're not afraid to say, I'm not a 10 at that yet. I could be, right? So a fixed mindset means that a person thinks that all my qualities that I have, my intellect, my business skills, my sports ability, my artistic ability is all set in stone. That's just all I have. And there's not a way of changing that. Believing that your qualities are carved in stone, it creates an urgency to prove to everybody else and to ourselves over and over that it's enough. If this is all I have, this is as intelligent as I'll ever be, I have to prove to you that it's enough. So that's why a fixed mindset, if this is you, and I'll go through a little quiz at the end, and you can kind of figure out, are you a fixed mindset or do you have a growth mindset? And sometimes we're probably a little mix of both. But here's how, if a person only has a certain amount of intelligence, a certain amount of personality qualities, and a certain amount of moral character, they feel like they better prove themselves in every situation. So they're always looking for confirmation from others. Yeah, believing that your qualities are carved in stone creates an urgency to always have to prove to everybody and to yourself that you're enough. So you're always looking for other people to confirm and affirm your abilities. Versus a growth mindset. A growth mindset says that this is what I've been dealt in life. This is my intellect. This is my IQ. This is my sports ability. This is my personality. And this is, for a growth mindset, they would say, this is just a starting point. That it's not carved in stone. I can learn. And that's what life's all about, is staying curious about learning and growing. Am I going to be a 10 in everything? No. But we don't need to be a 10 in everything. We just want to say, there's always room to grow. I can always get better. What a growth mindset does is creates a passion for learning, whereas fixed mindset creates this urgency for everybody else to tell you how good you are. A growth mindset says, well, I don't care if I fail. I've never learned this. Why would I know how to do this at an 8 or a 10? I've never learned it. So it opens their eyes to get excited about life, to be passionate about learning, because they know they can, right? So important. The hallmark of the growth mindset is the passion for stretching yourself and sticking with it, even when it's hard. Even when it's hard. We can do it. We can do hard. I did a Bible study last year on that, because sometimes I feel like I don't want to do hard. But it was so good to learn, you know what? I can do hard and I can do it well. So the fruit of this mindset is worth the effort. It is worth the effort. If you've grown up with a fixed mindset, what I realized I did, you can change. You can change, and it's worth all the effort. So very interesting research that Carol Drake did, that with children, and I see this in my practice a lot, if parents affirm constantly how smart they are, you're so smart, you're so intellectually smart, like we really push on how smart they are. Contrary to what you would think, it really made kids unwilling to try new things. They were so afraid of failing because it's a fixed mindset. This is my IQ. I don't want to prove to anybody that I might not measure up, that I might not be as smart as you think I am. What it showed in her research, though, if we affirm effort, that was a great effort. I am so glad you really gave it your all today. Even if they didn't hit a home run, even if they didn't even get on base, Dad, stop it. Don't project your fear of them not being good at the sport by being down on them if they didn't make a home run the first time. Parents, we have to pull back and make sure that we're speaking words of encouragement over our kids and allowing them to make mistakes so they're not afraid of trying. Affirm their effort, that is what makes them grow in life, and willing to try new things. They're not afraid to fail. And so it's so important. Mindset will determine their success in life, because a lot of life is the unknown. If they're afraid of the unknown, so much of life is the unknown. I don't know what to expect. I'm not going to go to that party because I don't know how they're going to treat me. Well, let's learn. You don't know how to have a quality conversation because you were never taught that. You can learn how to have a quality conversation and connect with new friends. I encourage my kids in my practice. Look at a TED Talk. most people in social situations, a lot of people have social anxiety. How can you manage that? It's usually because we don't know how to connect. I tell the kids, you say, hi, how are you? Fine. What's your name, John? What do you like to do? I don't know. It's like, how do you connect with that, right? That's so hard. So it's you taking the responsibility to learn, how do I have a quality conversation? How do I ask open-ended questions? Tell me about your summer. Tell me what you like best about this class. What did you enjoy most about the trip to Europe? So it's helping people have conversation. Most people they want to talk, they want to connect, but they don't know how. So there again, helping your children learn when they're not good. Don't throw a temper tantrum. A lot of times, okay, they threw a temper tantrum. It's usually because either they felt dumb, they didn't feel like, I can say I never wanted to play Pictionary when that game came out big because I can't draw for the life of me. And so I was like, this made me feel dumb. I didn't want to do it, but I was missing out on the fun of the game. So we got to take that pressure off of them to say that they got to be great at everything. Make them passionate about learning and growing. That's going to set them up for success in life. So affirming their effort is way more important than affirming their intellect. I found that very interesting. So here's a few questions about mindset that'll help you determine, are you a growth mindset? Are you a fixed mindset? So, which mindset do you have? Do you think your intelligence is something very basic about you that you can't change very much? Number 2, you can learn new things, but you can't really change how intelligent you are. That's a fixed mindset, right? Here's a growth. No matter how much intelligence you have, you can always change it a bit. You can always substantially change how intelligent you are. Those are growth mindset statements. So it's important. Where do you fit in there? And then for our personality, you're a certain kind of person, and there's not much that you can really do about that. You know, I can say there was times people would say I was kind of harsh in the way I would say things. And I think many times this is how complex behavior is. I didn't like the attention my personality would draw to me because I was very outgoing. I loved to laugh. So people assumed I wanted to be center of attention, and that was the furthest thing from the truth. So many times I would say something very domineering or very kind of out there because I just wanted to get my thoughts out there, but I wanted the attention off of me. Interesting, huh? So I'm so glad I can change, right? That I learned once I read this book, I'm like, oh, I can change that. I don't have to speak harsh. Number 1, I'm getting comfortable with myself, but right, for kids, when they say certain things, do certain things, allow them room to grow, right? So here's another thing. No matter what kind of person you are, you can always change substantially. So that comes from a growth mindset. You can do things differently, but the important parts the important parts, who you are, can't really change. I think we know that's a fixed mindset. Anytime it comes to a place of it's carved in stone, you can't get past that. That's not true. No matter how many times you've been told that by a parent, by a friend, by other people, things about you that you want to change, you can change that. It will take a lot of work because some of that has been ingrained since childhood, but you can change. Parents, you're going to want to work on your mental and emotional health and your mindsets so you don't pass on a negative mindset to your child or a fixed mindset that says they can't learn that. That's just who you are. So that's why, parents, it's so important that we work on our mental and emotional health so we can help our kids, right? So important. You can always change basic things about the kind of person you are. These are growth mindsets. So I think we all can see and understand how this could help your children succeed in life. So I hope you've enjoyed this talk on mindsets. I have really taken this to heart, and I've I did not grow up with a mindset of wanting to learn. I didn't really understand it, but now I love learning. I love growing. And I try to pass it on to all the kids that are in my sphere of influence. So I had 2 kids that came in this week that were interesting. And this is how mindset's so important. So we'll start with the older one. He actually was a 17-year-old. And he really came in for not sleeping well. The more we talked about it, and this has been going on for years, he really is a very laid-back child. I asked Mom, any anxiety, any stress, what's going on in school? But really, she would just say, oh, he's just like his father. He's very laid back. I said, okay. So, but maybe your mind is so idle. What's your passion in life? What do you want to learn in life? What do you want to do when you get out of school? Well, I want to do business. But you've got another 1.5 years of high school to do. So in order for you, I think, to sleep, I think number 1 is you've got to find your passion in life. You've got to start now with purpose and passion. How can you apply? I think he was very smart, and I think that was obvious. And his parents had affirmed his being smart. But what many times I try to share with them is that you're so laid back that I don't think people are recognizing that you're interested in learning business, that you're interested in what they have to say. So I would challenge you with that personality of being laid back. Get interested at school. Go meet your instructor. Go meet the teacher. Go introduce yourself. If she thinks you're interested in learning business, she's going to open other opportunities for you. He's going to open other opportunities for you, whoever the teacher is, the professor. How you come across to other people, do you want to learn? Do you feel like you can learn? Is going to open doors for you. So our personality and our mindset, yes, you can be laid back. That can be your personality. But it does matter how you present yourself. So it's very important, even if you're a very laid back, shy person, that you're engaging with others. That's important. And then I had my other patient, which I adored. He was so cute. He was probably 10. I want to say 10, 11. He was in 5th grade. But he came in, it was really just for a physical. But I noticed, I always cover mental and emotional health at the end of growth and development. And I asked about school. And he was like, school. He was disgusted. He did not want to go to school. He's in 5th grade. I'm like, oh my goodness, how can I help you? I said, what is it about school that you don't like? But I realize, and it's so true, that kids really don't have a frame of reference of life where they're going to use all this education. So at first his presentation of himself could come off as annoying, to be honest. He was so negative. He had such a look on his face of disgust. But my goal was to help him find, look, you've got 7 more years left of high school. Let's find a way that you can get excited about school. How can we help you? He said, I just want to do sports. I just want to do sports. Well, I get that. I just want to sit at coffee shops. I just want to socialize and have fun with my friends. But we know that's not reality, right? So I told him, I said, you can address every day. You can go to school every day and be angry and upset and negative about school, or you can choose a different mindset. You can choose to believe, I'm going to learn something today that's going to help me in sports. You can address every day. You can go to school every day and be angry and upset and negative about school, or you can choose a different mindset. You can choose to believe, I'm going to learn something today. What would you feel if you said that to yourself every day? Today's the best day ever. Of course, he rolled his eyes, but he did get a smirk on his face. And I thought, maybe the light went off and maybe he realized I can choose my mindset. I can learn. And maybe something I learned today, I can apply to later in life. So parents, let's help our kids find the good in every situation, to find where they can grow and learn. Does that make sense? So glad you joined me today. Enjoyed having you, and let's practice a growth mindset. Have a great day.